Good morning, Bucknutters. It's Tuesday, October 4th, 2016. I am Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and change. If it's Tuesday, it can mean only one thing. Duane Long has joined us. Dwayne, it's a fall, crisp morning here in the Gem City. I think everybody wants to know what's going on in the capital city of Columbus.
Well, I can't tell because it's foggy. I can't see anything, so I can't really tell you. We know fall is here though, and football isn't the only thing telling us that.
Fog and gray days in Dayton. That'll definitely do it. Gray days in Columbus as well. It's going to be kind of a different show today. We're going to get a chance to look back at stuff. I was talking to Dwayne before we went on the air, and we decided we cannot do another show talking about how we have no weaknesses. We're going to let the ball roll here. And we're going to let Dwayne offer up a couple mea culpas. Those who don't know, Dwayne was not as high on Mike Weber as some of the others. Let's not forget, there were several running backs in the mix when they took Weber, and then they went through the whole Stan Drayton leaves, et cetera thing. Then we went through the redshirt season where he was nicked up, even though he did look good in camp last year. And now this year, I think everyone would agree he's looked great. And I'm surprised he's just hit the ground running so fast. I thought he would be good. I didn't think he'd be as smooth this early. Dwayne, I'm going to give you a chance here to send apologies out to Detroit.
Oh yeah, I was at the time what I wanted was L.J. Scott, and I'd still like to have L.J. Scott, but right now Michael Weber's showing himself to be the better back. I did not think he just did not leap out at me on film. He just didn't. I saw a guy that didn't seem to have really great size, and I always think about that. Running between the tackles is what we do. We saw it this past Saturday, just how much we just want to pound the ball up between the tackles. We get out wide. I like how we're doing the option right now. We're doing real well with that, running a little bit more than we did last year. I'm just the kid's just standing out. He had his best day as a Buckeye, and if we'd have given the ball more, I thought that there was going to be a point he might hit 200 yards the way he was running. So yeah, this kid has really shown to be the back that the staff, they really did choose him over Scott. They went after him sooner, and they got their guy. So yeah, this is one that I'm happy to take a knee on. He's really impressed me, and I like this about it, Dan. We're not running him so much. There's no question he's not a big physical guy. He runs hard and he breaks tackles, but we don't want to get him beat up, especially early. We'll have him still fresh later in the year. The way we're running him, the number of carries we're getting to him. And, we're getting them a little bit of relief for bringing a couple other guys in there, whereas we had Zeke last year averaged 22 carries a game. I don't think we're going to do that with Michael Weber, and I think it's in his best interest, and that means it's in the team's best interest. Yeah, the kid's running great. Love what love his production right now.
Speaking of running backs and kind of the global picture here at Ohio State and how it applies to recruiting, as I was watching the game the other day, I noticed this. Weber was replaced by McCall. It was replaced by Smith, the other freshman. So you had redshirt freshman, followed by true freshman, followed by true freshman. If you're Cam Akers, what does that mean to you?
Well, the first thing, everyone would say, well, he's not going to get to be the bell cow. Well, he might be. What he needs to look at is the fact that all these guys are playing. Everybody's getting touches. So it isn't like he's going to come here and sit and just wait. He's going to get an opportunity to play. We're spreading the ball around a little bit. He didn't see that when we had Zeke here. That's a plus. That's something that the staff can go down there and sell Cam Akers on, is that you're going to come up here and we're going to give you the football.
what I would send to Akers is 2 links. 1, leading rushers in the Big Ten. 2, leading rushers in the NFL. Mike Weber's the leading rusher in the Big Ten by average. The leading rusher in the NFL is Ezekiel Elliott. Kyle Hyde can't be far behind. So these dudes need to be honest with themselves and come to the spot, which is clearly producing the best running back talent in the United States right now in terms of the national stage in college and the ability to get yourself into the pros and play a style that works. So very impressive. Mea culpa number 2. Our preseason predictions. Your fearless host of the show, me, predicted an undefeated season, as I do every year. I said I'm the publisher of a site called Bucknuts, not Buck Rational Observer. That said, I believed it. Dwayne, you were a little less greedy than myself. I believe your prediction was 10-2. Do you want to change that?
Oh yeah, I'm fully on. I'm committed. I think we're going to go undefeated. I look at the schedule and I do not see another challenger. I thought that we would see, always Michigan State has just been a thorn in our side. And I was worried about the Oklahoma game away early with this young team, and they came through with flying they came through with flying colors in that game. And Michigan State looks like it's going to be a rough one for them. Got to fix their quarterback situation. It's not getting any better. And they're getting a little bit beat up on the line of scrimmage, and I did not expect that from them. Wisconsin, I watched Michigan and Wisconsin, and I don't know about you, Dan, but I thought that game was in slow motion. I saw some guys out there that could actually move. It was they're going to be chasing Buckeyes all over the field when we run into them. I think Wisconsin's a little better defensively. I think that they got hurt by the loss of their linebacker. It looks like he's going to be out. Yes, looks like he's going to be out for our game too.
Yeah. By the way, if you watch them play this year, he's their best player, no question, and he's their emotional leader. I thought he was on his way to being first team All-American. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's I watched Wisconsin, Michigan State. In this game, you could see they missed him. There's no doubt about that. So, and it looks like he's going to be out for our game too. I just don't think that anybody can run with this team until we get to the playoffs. And we're not even going to talk about the Big Ten championship game because what's the other half, the other division is just wow, is it poor.
JD.
That's just wow. So it's going to take us getting to the playoffs, and I absolutely think we're going to get there now. I think I think the Buckeyes are on a roll. I thought that we would go 10-2. We were just too young. Look at how many, as you mentioned, there with the running backs. We got a redshirt freshman, a freshman, and a freshman doing most of the running. So you're not supposed to win championships with that. No, you're not supposed to.
A left guard is a freshman. Left tackle's never really been a starter. A right tackle is basically a freshman. It's incredible, man. I mean, as I said on the Bucknuts 90, what I think is going on now is we are in the process of upping the standard for the program. And I realize at a place like Ohio State, that's almost a hard thing to say, considering the AP said they were the best program in the last 30 years. But if you just look at the facts of the wins and losses and the level of recruiting and the statistics, the arrow is still pointed way up. This is zenith redefinition or constant zenith. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's impressive. We are now going to go to the front row, as we want to do sometimes, and let Dwayne comment on some of the questions that are on here. 1, should JT Barrett leave Ohio State after this season?
Well, my argument is that JT's not going to get any better. He's as good as he's going to get. He might as well go get paid. He's not going to increase his draft status by coming back. I mean, he's the size that he is. He's got the arm strength that he has. I just don't see where, and really that's a compliment, Dan, how good he is right now. But it's just, I think he's hit his ceiling, and there's no reason to take punishment and not get paid for it at this point. The only reason he would come back is because if we win a championship, I don't think there's any chance he's coming back. If we don't, he might look the youth around him and say, these guys, they are getting better. We got a bunch of young guys that have a year under their belt now. We can really make another run. So I just don't see where it's an advantage to him to come back.
Yeah, I would agree. I would love to see him come back. I've really enjoyed watching him play. But your body can only take so many hits. He's a redshirt junior who's, people, remember he had a serious knee injury his senior year of high school. We all remember what happened to him on the field at Michigan. So he's going to, even if he left after this year, here's one thing I will say. As we get further and further through the season and Ohio State remains on top, that credit's going to go directly to certain people. He's one of them. So I'm fully believing he's going to be in the thick of the Heisman race. So while we sit here and say now, he isn't even getting that much press relative to what's going on, he's going to be front and center on the college football stage for about 6 weeks. Guys like that do tend to leave. It's hard to top that, so we shall see. Question 2. We'll get a little off topic here in terms of the Buckeyes. Tennessee Vols, contenders or pretenders?
Oh my Lord! I was talking to a friend about Tennessee just yesterday, and he said it's the worst 5-0 team we've seen in a long time, and it is. It's an awful team. If you watch Tennessee, they were down big to Florida. Should have lost that football game. They win late against Georgia. That's not a good football team. They're no better than a 3-2 team, and probably that's giving them too much credit. No way. Pretender of the highest sort.
I could not agree more. I like Joshua Dobbs as a pro prospect down the road. Very smart guy. Passes all your physical tests in terms of height, weight, arm strength, and such. But that's just a sloppy football team, man. That's just a heart attack waiting to happen. Although I will encourage anybody, if you want to see something funny, go on the internet and search for the reactions to that game that people videoed. There's a dude who watched that who's a Georgia fan. Maybe I'll put the link in the thread. That literally is 3 minutes of absolute hilarity. If you want to see what it's like to ride the roller coaster as a sycophant, this guy will do it for you. I'll put that in the board. It'll be hilarious. Last little off-topic one. Actually, let's get back on the Buckeyes here for a sec. There's been some, I don't know if I'd say movement here, but and I'm starting to hear it, and I expected we would after watching the game, that people would like to see Dontre Wilson taken off punt return. It does seem to me that Dontre is constantly upset after each play, meaning that look like I almost broke it look. I've been seeing that look on his face for years. What do you feel about the punt return position? He does seem that while he's gotten a little more short-handed and thicker, he may have lost a step. Would you rather have someone back there who may be a little bit more explosive? I think Demario McCall has been a name that's come up. Or do you want to go with more of a vet back there?
I want the veteran. There's only one important thing that happens on a punt, and that is secure possession. You want to have the change of possession. He's shown himself to be capable of fielding the ball. That seemed to be an adventure the last couple of years. I want him back there, get the ball. If we get anything out of it extra, fine. But I want to make sure we get the ball. I don't want to put a freshman back there. No. If you give me another name, possibly, but right now I want the veteran, no doubt.
Right. This is a window into my personal frailty, but during big games, when the punt is important, I will pause it and then fast forward through it because I can't stand it. And when the ball's in the air, it makes my stomach upset. And Jalen Marshall, I blame you for this partly. I just fast forward to the commercial to hopefully we have the ball. It's stressful. I don't care who's back there, but I want it to be, I'll put it this way. I would not put Curtis back there. I would not put Mike Weber back there. I do not believe on a team like Ohio State you need one of your studs to be back there at risk. Now, if you want to use him like Darryl Green and have him return the punt when they're punting from their end zone in a big game and you think you can break it from the 50, so be it. Put anyone you want back there. Kids, you can Google that one. But I don't enjoy punt return at all. And Dontre looks very solid catching the ball. So I think right now I would stick with him, especially with this offense. It's not like you're turning over to a team that can't go 90 yards in 6 or 7 plays. So I'm into it. All right, that brings us to where we get to every week. Dwayne's eye test top 5. I think we're getting to where I wanted. This is now a much more interesting question than it was, say, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Dwayne, your eye test top 5 as of today.
Okay, I'm going to have a change at number 1. I'm going with Ohio State clearly. I had Ohio State and Alabama 1A and 1B tied. Now, I think the Buckeyes are a better football team. All the way around, offense, defense, and the kicking game, I think Ohio State's better. Number 2, I'm going with Alabama. Number 3, returning to my to a playoff team is Clemson. That was a great game Saturday night for Louisville. Louisville didn't lose. Clemson won. They really did. The biggest surprise for me is Washington. I hadn't seen Washington. Washington looked great. Just kicked Stanford up and down the football field. They're going to be my number 4. And I am going back to what I said a couple of weeks ago. I don't see a number 5 team. I really don't. I don't see an elite team that belongs in the top 5. I'm going with 4, Dan. I'm going with 4.
Dwayne makes his own rules, people. You know that. If you've been on the boards, you certainly know that. Get on there. Let's talk about it. I'll try and remember to put that link in of the Georgia fans so we can all laugh at him. Have a great one, Bucknutters.